Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're just gonna get straight into this video. I feel like today is definitely a hot pink kind of day. My shirt has hot pink in it, so we're gonna put hot pink bow on, and of course, to go with the hot pink theme, we're gonna play in a palette I have not played in a minute. Jawbreaker. All right. I guess we're gonna do a colorful look. So today we are going to be talking about the Sultan. Yes, New Orleans had a Sultan. If you are curious about upcoming videos, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell, because next week you're gonna see a whole new video about Harlem. I'm continuing to give you guys updates about Harlem, but yeah, this weekend we got some interesting stuff going down. We need to go have a discussion with Harlem. So, all right guys, let's go ahead and just get right into the video. So we're going to be talking about the legend of Sultan's Palace today. Now, as per usual, I'm just going to point to the shade that I'm using, and if you want to follow along in the look, you're more than welcome to. If you are just here for the story, well then, get yourself a snack and a drink, and let's dive in. I have my coffee with me. So 1839, Jean-Baptiste Lepret purchased the property on the corner of Dauphine and Orleans. Jean-Baptiste Lepret was a bank merchant, plantation owner, and all that jazz. So he had money. The Leprets would stay there during season, Mardi Gras, etc., etc. Summer, you know what I mean, like seasons. Now, they did have a plantation in Plaquemines Parish, and this whole thing worked out really well for them. They lived in Plaquemines Parish, and they would visit New Orleans. New Orleans. I don't know why that word's so hard for me today. Like, I live here. That's bad. That's sad. So, the family fell on hard times after the Civil War, and they couldn't keep up the house. So Jean-Baptiste Lepret and his family fall on hard times, and it's unclear at the exact year because the house has gone through so many renovations, but he's approached by a Turkish man. Some say he's a merchant, some say he's royalty, some say he's an actual sultan. There's a lot of rumors that circulate this, because I mean, keep it in mind, like, you're in like the 1860s, so things get lost down the road. So Jean-Baptiste is approached by this Middle Eastern man, believed to be of Turkish descent, and his family's on hard times. So the Turkish man's like, we have someone that wants to buy your house. So Jean-Baptiste ends up selling the house. This is where stories go a little bit everywhere, okay? So a boat docks in Port of Orleans. Well, Port of New Orleans, Port of Orleans, same thing. Actually, no, Port of Orleans is a brewery. So this boat docks, and women in like the finest silks get off, and then a man with many bodyguards gets off. And now it is believed that this man is the new owner of 716 Dauphine Street. They're going down the street. They're going through around St. Louis Cathedral, which is in Jackson Square, and they're going all the way down to Dauphine Street, and following them is all of their furniture. I'm talking like vases, portraits, rugs, actual furniture, beds. And so many people of the city were just astounded by how absolutely gorgeous some of these items were. Like, obviously, whoever bought this has money. Now, so you have this family that just moved in. Well, it's believed to be a family anyway. And they are changing the locks. They've brought all of their expensive furniture. The ladies that are with them are dressed in the finest silks. Like, this is gonna end well. No. So, over the next few months, clean brush. Over the next few months, there are reports that they're having parties every single night, and you can, now this is where things start getting a little, stories start getting a little muddled. So you can smell like incense and food. Some say you could smell opiates burning. I don't know what an opiate burning smells like, so I don't know if that's something you can actually smell or not. But neighbors are complaining because every single night for months there's a new party, there's a new smell coming out, and there's always loud noises. It's basically just disturbing the peace 24/7. This family would order like groceries and all of that, but you were never allowed in the building. So like you would have to put the whoever they ordered from would have to put the goods on the step and leave. Like, they were never allowed in the building. And I mean, I can't be the only one that finds that kind of strange, considering the fact they were having parties every single night. But hey, to each their own, right? This is going on for a few months, and then one night a storm comes through New Orleans. I'm assuming it's a hurricane because all the stories say like the quarter buckled down, they lit their candles, and they like closed their shutters, and wind was whistling through the sheets and lightning cracking overhead. So I'm assuming it's a hurricane. But anyway, that, and then after this storm, the sky is just, it's the weather is amazing, and it's almost as if nothing happened. Sounds like a hurricane to me. Just saying. Now, this is where stories really take a turn for the strange. Some people say a neighbor was outside and they saw blood coming from under the door. Another neighbor says that the stench of death like was coming from the building. Another story is that a just random dude was walking down the street and something didn't seem right, and something didn't seem right, and there was a liquid like substance dripping down the steps of the building. Like, there's a lot of different stories as to what exactly happened. We are doing a colorful look. It's like Skittles. Taste the rainbow up in here. So whoever finds this ends up calling the police, and the police arrive on the scene. I'm just gonna hold it like this. Ooh, like Jeffree Star's palettes are heavy and a complete pain in the butt sometimes. So so the police arrive on the scene, and I'm like trying to figure out if I actually like this look or not. And it is said that some police officers actually walked out of the building and threw up because the scene that they arrived into was just that horrendous. Now, it is said that the building inside smelled of death, and that there was blood everywhere. It was just like every room they went in was just more and more bodies, almost as if they had a party and the party just went so unbelievably south. Now, the weird thing is, like, keep in mind, these doors were locked. This guy was apparently royalty, so he had bodyguards, and it was like literally just, it was literally a massacre. Like, there's nothing else to really say about it. Like, it was just that. It was a massacre. But the worst crime of them all, yes, it gets worse. The worst crime of them all was when they went into the courtyard. And in said courtyard, now keep in mind, like, a storm, hurricane, had just rolled through the city. So if you have soil or anything like that, it's gonna be wet. The Sultan had been buried alive underneath a tree in the courtyard. Now keep in mind, there's stories. Okay, so if you backtrack a little bit, I did tell you, like, there was rumors that it wasn't just the Sultan, it was his brother as well. But the only royalty body they found was of the Sultan himself. His brother was never found. Which means, okay, yeah, the brother could have had something to do with it since he was never seen or heard from. Like I said, the only real, like, out of all the stories I've read and all the videos I've watched, the only real 100% facts that remain the same were that Jean-Baptiste Lepret fell on hard times and had to sell the building at 716 Dauphine Street. And then that a Sultan is the one that purchased it, or the Sultan's brother. It was one of those two. Some stories say it's both of them. And then that the night of the storm, there was a massacre. But leading up to that, there were parties every single night. You could smell opium, incense, food. There was always loud music, lots of people. And then upon entering the building, you found the Sultan buried in the backyard. Well, courtyard, we call them courtyards. So that's really, I just hit my mic with my eyeliner. So that's really this is what we're using for eyeliner. It's a glitter pen by Hot Mess. So the crazy thing is like, there's so many stories that surround what actually happened. Me and my wing are not getting along today. She's not horrible. All right, let me do the other eye and I'll come back and finish this story because this is gonna drive me insane. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Like, that wing was just not being a good friend of mine. So, like I said, there's a lot of stories about who actually purchased the house, between, like, the Sultan and his brother. The one thing that does 100% remain consistent is the fact that there were parties every single night, and the Sultan was buried in the courtyard. It did appear that he was buried alive. Meanwhile, like, the rest of the house is filled with blood and bodies and everything. But he was buried alive. I mean, I don't know about you, but being buried alive sounds like the worst thing on the planet. Especially during a hurricane. Like, y'all, there's alligators and shit. I'm not a big water person myself, so I don't like being out in the rain. I prefer to stay home and lay in my bed during hurricanes. But hey, that's just me. So, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I actually really like this look, y'all. So the building has gone from owner to owner. It still stands today. Actually, funny story. Someone that did purchase the building didn't know about the history that surrounds the Sultan's palace. And that's actually how it got its name, the Sultan's Palace, is because Sultan was, you know, buried alive in the courtyard. And they had no idea about the history when they purchased the building. So these poor people here, like, bought this building and were completely unaware. Why is my mascara clumping like this? Completely unaware that people died there, let alone someone was buried alive in the backyard, courtyard. How would you feel about that? Like, if you bought a building thinking you got like this great deal in this building, and then it turns out that like there was a massacre. Am I the only one that would be like, what the hell? I want a refund. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I'd probably still keep the place. But I'm weird. So one thing that I didn't mention that's actually really interesting, and I think all of you will get a kick out of it, is how the Sultan's body was discovered. So keep in mind, like, the different stories that led into the event. So keep in mind what led to the point of them discovering that a massacre had taken place at the Sultan's palace. Like, there were between the neighbor walking by, some random dude, and blood pouring out from under the door, the smell of death from a neighbor, and then that random guy that was just walking down the street and blood was pouring down the steps. Like, I wish I could find out exactly like how everyone in there was murdered, because unless someone like just drained them of their blood and then dumped it by the front door, you mean to tell me you just saw blood dripping down the stairs? And like, keep in mind, like, New Orleans houses are raised, so that's stairs probably, yeah, it's probably about 2 or 3 feet up, which means you would have had to like dump blood right by the front door. Anyway, so we're digressing. So the whole way the Sultan got discovered was because, yes, he was buried alive, and as the police were going through and seeing like all these dead bodies in different rooms, when they got to the courtyard, there was a hand just sticking up out of the ground as if he was trying to pry his way out. I have a really twisted sense of humor. So yes, guys, that is the history of the Sultan's house. It is still around today. It is at 716 Dauphine Street, which is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. It is privately owned, so you cannot just go up to the door and be like, hey, can I tour your murder house, please? Yeah, don't do that. But you can go see the actual house, and it's also a stop on the haunted history tours or the ghost tours, one of which I've already talked about it, and we're definitely going to take a haunted tour. And then I'm gonna compare information that I have versus information that they give, because a lot of the places that are on this tour I've already talked about. I don't have an exact date on that yet though. So let's talk about upcoming videos. This Saturday we are going through and we are talking about something not skincare related. It is going up on Skincare Saturday. I am using a new toner on my hair. Like, my lighting is low-key driving me insane because my hair really isn't this yellow in person, but it's coming off super yellow gold in camera. It's really weird and it's driving me insane. But I have a new toner coming. It was supposed to be here already and it was not. So it actually gets here tomorrow, which gives me about a little under 48 hours to film, edit, upload. So, but it will be up. I will have it up. And we're gonna go through and talk about different types of toners, as well as hair care for if you're wanting to go platinum blonde. Now, I'm not a hairdresser, but y'all, I might as well be. I should have just gone to hair school as much as I do my hair. And then next Wednesday, we are going to have a whole new seance video with Harlem. We are going to be using dowsing rods, the Ouija board, and then we're also integrating a few new things. Harley and Kat will be joining us. I did get their permission, so they will actually be joining us and talking to us. And then Friday, I'm going to try to get a favorites up. Do not quote me on that, but I'm going to try to get a favorites of 2020 and 2021 and combine them. We're going to talk hair care, skin care, makeup. Jess wants to see bows and my favorite reusable straws. It's funny, like y'all have only seen me reusable straws twice on this channel. I have them, I just don't use them. Don't judge me. Most of the time I don't bring it, I forget to bring it with me. So yeah, we're gonna go through and we're gonna do a whole favorites video, and I will put links of everything that I love down below. And yeah, so if there is anything you would like to see in the favorites, I'm definitely gonna stick to like things y'all see me use a lot, and I'll even throw in some perfume. But if there's anything in particular you want to see me talk about in the favorites video, or if you have any questions you want to ask Harlem, this video goes live Friday the 5th. We talked to Harlem on the 6th. So if you see this in time, even any time before noon your time, like noon my time, but noon your time, I feel like that's the best. If you have any questions you want me to ask Harlem, or any information you would like from Harlem, and I can see if he answers it, let me know down in the comments below of this video. I will warn you though, he does not like talking about serious things. It's not his deal. We've brought up serious topics in the past, and he's just, it's not his thing. It's not his journey. He doesn't like being serious. He's very playful, and I will make sure that we have sound for this video. So yeah. Alright guys, I love you, and I will see you in my next video for the hair. It doesn't look bad. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, because I actually post a lot of the makeup I do there on Instagram. Like makeup looks I wear day to day. They do vary, they do change, and I don't always film them. So in the event I have a look you want to see me film so that you can see how I achieve that look during story time, follow me on Instagram. Go comment on the picture and be like, hey, I want to see this look. Can you do it next time? And I will be more than happy to accompany it. I'm assuming I remember the exact products I use. If not, I'll make it happen one way or another. Alright guys, I will see you later.